Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are located. Thank you all so much for joining Amtrak Vacations. As today, I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know about the beautiful Glacier National Park. First and foremost, let me just take a minute to introduce myself. I will be your host here today. My name is Jim Marini and proudly the Vice President of Sales for Amtrak Vacations and Yankee Holidays. And today we have a real treat for you. It is scheduled to be about 45 minutes or so, give or take. So I hope you can join me throughout today's training webinar. And as always, for those of you that have joined me on any previous trainings that I've done, I do like to make them fun and interactive. I have some couple fun little questions that I like to ask throughout. So I hope you can join me as we have some fun. Hey, folks, we're selling travel, right? And today the topic is Glacier National Park. Now, I want to encourage any of you as I go through today's training webinar. Any questions that you may have, please feel free to type those away in the question box because we will save time at the end of today's training webinar for any questions that you may have. I also want to encourage all of you, if you have a pen and paper or you have your iPhone or mobile device, feel free to take a picture of our 1-800 number down in the bottom right-hand corner, as well as our website to view any of these exciting packages or certainly any others that I go through here today. So without further ado, let me just mention as well at the end of the presentation, or certainly throughout, you have an opportunity to download what we refer to as our travel agent reference guide. It's really a cheat sheet with a nice big colorful map of all the great train routes that Amtrak Vacations travels to, as well as the seating and sleeping accommodations. So definitely make sure to download your copy today and feel free to have it handy for any time you speak or meet with your awesome clients. Now, before I move into everything you need and want to know about Glacier National Park, just wanted to give all of you a little overview on the family that Amtrak Vacations is part of. We are actually part of the Yankee Leisure Group family of brands. So as you can see, we have our three brochures, our three brands. Today, again, obviously is going to be about Amtrak Vacations, specifically on Glacier National Park. So for any of you that have clients that have expressed interest or looking to travel to Glacier National Park, as I'm sure many of you may be aware, you definitely want to reach out to us as soon as possible. Many of you may know this, but Glacier National Park only operates from the middle of June through the middle of September. It's a very, very short season. So again, we'll get more into that. But for those of you who may not be as familiar with us or the three family of brands that fall under the Yankee Leisure Group family, Amtrak Vacations, obviously our biggest, most well-known brand out of the three, focusing on all USA and Canada independent FIT vacations that include the train. USA Canada for Yankee Holidays also is independent FIT vacations, except Yankee Holidays is all of our land packages. Basically, packages that can be fly drive if you book flights for your clients, can be driving vacations if you book car rentals, and certainly any other option as well. And last but not least, Rail Bookers. Rail Bookers is our latest and greatest brand. It is, in essence, an extension of our Amtrak Vacations brand here in the United States, except it's international, worldwide rail vacations, folks. Okay. So if you have clients looking to travel specifically throughout Canada or all throughout Europe, Asia, India, it is all of our rail vacations worldwide. Okay, so a little something to keep in mind. All right, but before I go into Glacier National Park, let me just kind of show everyone some fun slides. And first off is starting with the Amtrak Vacation System map. Believe it or not, last year, everyone, over 31 million people traveled on board Amtrak. Over 31 million people. Now, I've been with the company about 5.5 years. We are based out of the Boston area, our headquarters for Amtrak Vacations. And I will tell you, when I came on board about 5.5 years ago, there was a little over 28 million people that had traveled on board Amtrak. And as I mentioned, we now just passed over 31 million people. You know, it has that vintage, nostalgic way to travel. And I will say, as I'll get into in a little bit, so many of your clients, so many of our own travelers, believe it or not, they're actually not rail enthusiasts, so to speak. They are some of your world travelers. They're just looking for something different. And obviously, with the national parks, it's probably the biggest area of the United States we get the most bookings from, with all of our travel agents and all of our travel advisors around the world. All right. Some fun trivia for everyone. Believe it or not, the train actually travels to 46 out of the 48 states within the continental United States. Believe it or not, the only two states the train does not physically travel through are the states of South Dakota and Wyoming within the continental United States. Otherwise, as you can see by all the different colored lines, it travels throughout, and it also connects north over the border into Canada and can connect with Via Rail, which is the national train system of Canada, through the great cities of Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. Now, what makes Amtrak vacations different? Well, folks, these are the top 6 reasons why consumers love traveling with Amtrak vacations, why your own fellow travel agents, or certainly many of you who have had clients that have traveled with us, we've condensed it to the top 6 reasons why they love traveling with us. Number one, it's a bucket list experience. As I mentioned, many of your clients that have traveled with us or are looking to travel with us, many of them, they currently travel or have traveled on some of the escorted bus tours. They've traveled on some of the great river cruises, some of the major cruise lines. They're just looking for something different. They want to, check it off on their wish list that they've traveled to some of the great cities in the U.S. And in particular, the beautiful national parks. The second point is room to roam. I tell you, I hear this all the time, folks, when I go to many of the conferences across the United States and certainly visit many of our travel agent partners like yourselves who have had clients travel with us. They love how they're not confined to a seat. Obviously, if they're on driving vacations or on a motor coach bus, they're going to be a little more confined to the seat. Well, that's why cruises, as we know, are so popular. Well, rail is no different. In fact, we call rail the land cruise. Okay, rail vacations are otherwise known as land cruises. They love that flexibility to get up, roam around the train, walk around, stretch their legs, go to the observation car, the dining car. The third point is it's less hassle. Now, many of you may know this, but your clients can arrive at any of the major train stations within the United States as close into departure, everyone, is only 45 minutes to an hour and be able to head out on their exciting rail vacation of a lifetime. All right. As we know, when we fly, many times we have to arrive at the airport minimum 2 to 3 hours ahead of time. The fourth point is city to city service. Now, some of you that have spoken to me or certainly met me in person, you may know where I'm from, but for those of you that are hearing me and getting to know me for the first time, you may be able to hear a little bit of an accent. I'm, again, based in the Boston area, but I always love using Penn Station, which is the main train station in New York City, as an example. This is one of our many train stations. There's over 500 Amtrak stations, folks, that your clients can start and or end their trip at. As an example, Penn Station in New York City, when your clients arrive into New York City, they disembark, they get off the train itself, they're right there, they walk outside, they're right at Times Square, they're within blocks of Broadway, they are literally within blocks of all the shows and really all the nightlife and all the activities going on in the city. Well, that applies to many of the city to city train station services. We're bringing your clients into the heart of the cities. And it also applies, which I'm very excited about to tell you all, for Glacier National Park. Okay. The train station is literally a little over 200 steps away from Glacier Park Lodge. Okay. Location, location, location. The fifth point is satisfy your hunger. Now, I promised all of you I like to have some fun questions throughout today's training. Okay, so I will not call on anybody, but I want to ask your participation. Again, folks, this is travel. All right, let's have some fun. So on the right-hand side of your screen, you have your little question box. Okay, and I see we've already had some questions come in, so I will again save time for those at the end of today's training webinar to answer those. But my question to all of you is, if your clients or when your clients upgrade to either a roomette or a bedroom, so a sleeping accommodation on board the train, who here wants to type in? Again, I won't call your name, but if you want to type in the answer, what do your clients get included at no additional charge on board the overnight train? All right. There we go. Keep them coming, everyone. I love it. We have a fantastic audience. By the way, I will say this is one of the largest audiences we have had in the new year. So I want to thank you all so much. The answer is correct. Yes, you all got it right. Every single one that typed in the answer. Meals, cuisine, that's a huge selling point, folks. I will tell you. So use that every day, any day, all the time. Not only is it a great opportunity of upselling a package, but more importantly than that, I will tell you from my own experience, your clients will appreciate it that much more because when they are in their own sleeping accommodation, especially on an overnight train, which in this case, going out to Glacier National Park, many of them would be. By the way, my question, it's not even on here, but I want to see if any of you know the answer. Does anyone know the name of the train that takes your clients to Glacier National Park? Who here wants to take a guess? Does any of you know the name of the train that takes your clients to Glacier National Park? Okay, I see a few answers. This is why training webinars are fantastic, everyone. I love doing them. And I always say, my wife would tell you, hey, if you learn even just one thing after today's training webinar, I know we did okay. And actually, I see a lot of you did get it correct. The answer is the Empire Builder. Okay, and again, we're going to get to that in a little bit. That's the name of the train that would take your clients to and or from Glacier National Park. But definitely keep in mind the cuisine, the food. When your clients are in a sleeper on board the train, especially when they're overnighting, all their meals are included. By the way, speaking of that, I leave in about a week and a half. My wife, my three children, we're heading on the auto train. Some of you may have booked it already, and you can certainly reach out to us. We have some great packages where that's the train, folks. Your clients can actually bring their car on the train, departs right from Washington, D.C., heads down to Florida. So I mentioned I was in Boston. So if you know Boston in February, you know it's cold. I'm heading south. And by the way, we have two bedrooms that are adjoining each other. You and your clients can do the same, whether it's the auto train, wherever they are looking to travel overnight, depending on certain train routes. But certainly that is available. Last but not least on this particular slide is flexibility. Do you know we have daily departures every single day, everyone? You see, my background came from working at a large escorted motor coach company for years where we had select more structured itineraries, maybe weekly departures. Then I went to one of the biggest cruise lines in the year, in the industry rather, where again we had certain departures weekly, certain ports of call, the certain sites we visited. With Amtrak Vacations, everyone, I'll tell you, this is what blew me away when I came on board 5.5 years ago, and I hope it definitely makes you all feel that much more excited to certainly sell us with confidence and offer our product to your own clients. We have daily departures, okay? And in some cases, again, multiple departures daily, certainly throughout the major city. So if your client says, oh, well, I can't go on that day, no worries. How about the next day? How about the next day? How about if we go at 3 o'clock instead of 10 a.m. in the morning? It's literally that type of flexibility. Absolutely fantastic. And speaking of flexibility, why will all of you love booking with us? Well, just like I showed you the top 6 reasons why your own clients love traveling with us, this is why your own fellow travel agents and travel advisors love booking with us. And hopefully many of you joining myself today on the webinar have booked with us and certainly will be excited to as well. Number one, folks, we pay commission on Amtrak and Via Rail packages. Let me ask you this question, folks. If you try to call either of the trains themselves, anybody want to guess if they pay commission? Yes or no? Okay, that's right. That's right. No. When you book with Amtrak Vacations and Via Rail, okay, through Amtrak Vacations, we pay commission on everything. So depending on what consortium or if you're a AAA CAA, obviously we do pay commission, and pretty much we're preferred with every travel organization in the United States and Canada, which means you're all making the preferred commission. But folks, you make commission when your clients travel. So I was just at a conference recently, and some of my travel advisors mentioned, well, in the past I didn't bother booking it because we didn't make any commission. Folks, don't miss out on that opportunity. Pick up the phone or send an email to your favorite travel advisor here in our office, our vacation consultants, and we can book any package. And the cost of the rail ticket, whether it's Amtrak or Via Rail within our packages, the cost of the ticket is exactly the same cost as what your clients would find on their own online. The difference is obviously you book it with us, we pay commission. The second point is stress-free FITs to 50 plus destinations. Now, let me ask you all this, right? If you get those requests from clients, they want to travel more independently in the United States and Canada, and you try to piece it together on your own, right? It can be a little time consuming, am I right? You got to book a hotel, then you call, you book a transfer, then you maybe go online, book a car rental, then they want a Broadway show, you have to go there. Folks, we do everything with the exception of flights. So literally when I say we're a one-stop shop when it comes to USA and Canada, FIT independent trips, we are a truly one-stop shop. Amtrak Vacations is all of our packages with the train. Yankee Holidays is all of our packages without the train, okay? As simple as that. Rail connections into the national parks. What I should say is, let me ask you this. Here's another question I have for all of you. If you try to book yourselves direct with some of the lodges, or really most of the lodges inside of the national parks, if you try to book yourselves direct with those lodges inside the national parks, again, I'm not going to call on anyone. If you want to type in the question box, who here wants to tell me how much commission do you make if you try to book direct with the lodges inside the national parks? How much commission do you make? There we go. We got a fantastic crowd here. I got to tell you, thank you all. See, I love it. You know, my neighbors are always envious of all of us in the travel industry. I'm sure many of you feel the same, right? We get to talk about travel morning, noon, tonight. We get to experience travel. But the answer is zero. Thank you all. You're correct. The lodges inside the national parks do not pay commission. Folks, when you book with Amtrak Vacations or Yankee Holidays, not only do we get that hard to get lodges, whether it's El Tovar, Yavapai, Glacier Park Lodge, which you'll see me mention in a little bit, not only do we get space, which is hard to get, folks, we pay commission. Okay? And again, we're preferred with pretty much every consortium in AAA, which means you're all making preferred commission. And we can get the space. All right. It's a huge, huge selling point. A good bulk of our business, I will tell you, not only within the United States and Canada is the national parks, but worldwide. So I couldn't be more excited to talk about really one of our most iconic national parks, Glacier. All right. The last 2 points, pre and post cruise packages, folks, I will tell you, I came from one of the major cruise lines. Okay. Their focus, just like all the cruise lines, as many of you know, is on the ships. It's the cruises. It's the cruises themselves. It's some of the different activities on board, right? And they are absolutely fantastic. I know I was there for many years. We, however, are a land specialist, okay? So we can do a night or two in Seattle before. We could do a night or two in Vancouver, New Orleans, New York City. If you have clients sailing out of Bayonne, New Jersey, and maybe they want to go in a day or two early into New York City, how about see a Broadway show? We can do that for you. All right. The days of you spending hours piecing together an FIT independent trip, or better yet, trying to push them onto an escorted tour when in reality some of the clients may not want a guided escorted tour. You don't have to worry about that anymore. We will help you do that. And I'm going to show you a few pictures in a little bit that will explain more on that. And the last part, which actually leads me perfectly into the next section of today's training webinar, folks, we can customize any package. All right. So we can make it as long or as short as your clients would like. We can include as much or as little as your clients would like, and we can start and or end wherever your clients would like, where there is an Amtrak station. Okay, so keep that in mind. So speaking of that, your clients can start right from their hometown. Again, there's over 500 Amtrak stations. Folks, they can go one way by train if you want, and then you can book a flight for them on the way home. Or you can fly your clients to one city and then they can travel all the way back by train and stop along the way for multiple nights in certain areas. So let me give you an example what I mean by customizing a trip. So as an example, we have our Rails to the Grand Canyon package. This is a 5-day package, 5-day, 4 nights. It's round trip from Los Angeles, okay? And let's say your client said, okay, well, instead of spending one night in the Grand Canyon at El Tovar, I want to spend 2 nights. Here's my answer. No worries at all. Absolutely. We can add an extra night. Oh, and by the way, I want to spend one night in Los Angeles because I want to go to the Stars Walk of Fame. I want to go to Hollywood. Okay. I want to just see all that the Los Angeles and Beverly Hills and Hollywood area has to offer. Well, that's an example, a very easy example of customizing a trip. Let me give you another example. Here's a package called Glacier National Park Express, which, by the way, is one of the trips I'm going to highlight today. Very popular. It's actually the exact trip that I did, folks, this past fall. Fantastic. Okay. Well, here's our Glacier National Park Express trip, but they also want to combine it, or you want to combine it with our Seattle, Vancouver, Victoria. So we can also combine packages that we already have built. All right. Where your clients can start from their hometown, they could fly into one great city and then fly home from the end, okay, and do both of these trips combined together in the middle. We can create a vacation designed for you. And let me give you an example, folks. We have trainings with our vacation consultants 1 to 2 times a week, okay? And what we always go over in our training is to always make sure we're helping to support each and every one of you the best we can. By the way, some of you may have seen this in Travel Weekly, the Agent at Home magazine, all the major travel trade publications here in the United States. But we're best of rail company, best of North America, winning silver awards. So we were so excited. And part of the biggest reason is we can customize. So again, let's say you put together a package with us, and let's say it's a day or two too long, or it's $200 to $300 too expensive. Here's my answer to all of you. No worries at all whatsoever. We partner with 3, 4, up to 5-star, 5-diamond hotels. So depending on what your client's budget is, we can work with you on that. If we got to take a day off, or maybe we depart on Monday morning instead of departing Sunday night, we can work with you and your client on the itinerary so we get them exactly what they want and we hit that perfect package at that perfect price for them. Now, what are some of the travelers frequently asked questions? What's the average trip length? You know, the average trip length for us is 7.7 nights, so it's about a week long. Why is that? Because the most popular region in the United States is the national park. So most of the time, they're going at least anywhere from 5 to 10 days, which is why we come up to 7.7 nights. Your clients that travel with us, our clients will take an average of 4.8 trips a year. Now, that's not all with Amtrak Vacations. What that is they may go on a weekend getaway trip, okay? They may go on a sun and fun cruise. They may go to the beautiful national parks. Again, most of our travelers, your same clients, folks, they are your same clients that currently travel or have traveled on some of the major cruise lines, escorted tours, sun and fun vacations, river cruises. They're just looking for something different. 62% of our travelers will fly to and from the first rail station. So again, they can do it one way, they can do it round trip, whatever they choose. And 87% of Amtrak Vacations bookings that we get from our travel partners like yourselves, they are on long distance rail. So when we talk Glacier National Park, that's on the Empire Builder, and that is an overnight train, whether your clients are coming from Seattle or they're coming from Chicago, as an example. So what are some popular questions that we get from clients? How far in advance can packages be booked? So let me ask you all this question. How far in advance do you think right here, right now, you're able to book any of our packages? Again, I won't call on anyone, but if you want to type in the answer, bottom right-hand corner, how far in advance can any of our packages be booked? How far in advance? Okay, yeah, see it. Yep, I'm looking at 1 year, a year, 6 months. Yep, 2 years, 3 years. Okay, all right, good. This is a great answers, everybody. And by the way, almost all of you are correct. So here's the answer. Right now, folks, right now, your clients, you can book any package with us all the way up until March of 2020. Up until March of 2020. Now, keep in mind, however, everyone, Glacier National Park, as far as you could book, is only until the middle of September of this year, because it only operates from the middle of June through the middle of September. So that's something to keep in mind. I will tell you, and I say this so sincerely, everyone, when I'm not traveling at conferences, when I'm not meeting all my fantastic travel partners like yourselves out and about around the US or Canada, or around the world rather, I am here in the office. I'm spending time with our vacation consultants. I'm spending time with our business development managers who help support all our travel partners. And I will tell you, I've been on multiple calls with our own vacation consultants, and I have had a lot of advisors that have had clients want to travel last minute to Glacier National Park, and I will tell you, it's very hard to get space. If we can get it, we will. All right. So the answer is, if we have space, they can book as close into as weeks before departure. But Glacier is one of those destinations, unlike any of the national parks. That's why I'm so excited to present on it today, because I had a chance to experience it firsthand. Again, it only operates from the middle of June through the middle of September. So June, July, August, September, 4 months. That's it. All right. So any clients that have expressed interest, they've mentioned it, they want to go, don't even think twice, folks. Pick up that phone, give us a call, or send an email to your favorite vacation consultant, and we will help you any way we can. All right, here's another fun question. Who has access to the observation car? Who has access to the observation car on board the train? If you want to type in the answer, again, I won't call anybody. Just want to see who gets the answers right. Okay. All right, we got a great group here. That definitely I'm not surprised. Let me say that you're all right on it. Um, so here's the answer. Everybody has access to the observation car, regardless if your clients are in coach, roomette, or bedroom. Okay, so definitely keep that in mind. Now, this question is more for our travel partners, specifically like yourself. Okay, when do we receive travel documents? Which, by the way, all our documents, they're all electronic. So e-ticketing, e-documents. When do you receive your travel documents for your clients? Who here wants to type in the answer? Again, won't call on anybody. Who here wants to type in, when will you receive your travel documents for your clients? Okay. And this one, sometimes I get a little bit of a mix of answers depending. And that's great. So this is why these training webinars, I always love doing these, and my team. So the answer is, and thank you all. This is fantastic. I got a nice mix of answers. But here's the correct answer for this. Okay, everyone, just so you're on the same page. So any bookings you make within 30 days prior to departure. So if your clients are traveling literally within the month, you will get the e-tickets and e-documents 7 to 10 days prior to departure. Again, any last minute bookings, okay, within 7 to 10 days prior to departure. Any bookings that you make outside of 30 days, okay, 1 to 2 months, up to 6 months, up to a year, typically those documents will be sent anywhere from 14 or more days prior to departure. Okay, it's all electronic, e-ticketing, e-documents. You will get those 2 to 3 weeks before departure. All right, so here's a question. Here's some questions, rather. I'd love for you to ask yourselves, okay? And there's no doubt, I'm sure we have many of you on today's training webinar that have booked with us. So thank you all. If you haven't, I hope you're excited to pick up that phone or send that email to your favorite vacation consultant here in our office. And really, any of them are fantastic. They can help you. But I will tell you, from meeting many travel partners like yourself in person, from speaking to many of you, here's what I hear all the time when we have travel agents, travel advisors, partners that book us, who have clients travel with us. Here's the answers. Do you have clients who don't like to drive or fly? I hear that all the time. So when we have bookings, and I'm speaking to many of the travel agents and partners like yourself, this is what I hear. Yeah, Jim, no, they don't like to fly. They've traveled on board Amtrak before. They don't want to fly. Do you have clients who are booked in advance, maybe on a river cruise, or maybe an African safari or an Australian adventure, that maybe might like to travel in the meantime, right? Maybe they're booked in the summer of 2020, or maybe the fall of 2019 of this year. Why not suggest a 2 to 3 day getaway, right? Or a week-long trip out to the parks, right? It's a great way not only to provide even that much more support to your own clients, but also it's a nice way of generating even more business from your clients. Because here's the thing, everyone, as many of you know, your clients, our clients, we all travel. I myself included. I'm going on 2 to 3 trips a year on an average. All right, so they're traveling. Why not get a little more of that business, and more importantly, give them something to remember? And last but not least, are they looking for something different? That is a common answer I hear all the time as well from all of my travel agents who book with us is, Jim, yeah, they were just looking for something different. They had traveled a lot internationally, or they just wanted to travel local. Does that sound familiar, right? Wanted to stay locally. All right, so we can help you with that. And we all know what the view looks like when we fly. It pretty much looks the same, right? Around the world, myself included. Why not give them a chance to see the beauty of right here in the US or Canada, right from the window of the train? So, as promised, everybody, today is about Glacier National Park. So, I'd like to welcome you all aboard, and we're going to move right into the beautiful Glacier National Park. Now, as I mentioned, I had the pleasure of traveling to Glacier National Park. It was actually September of 2017. I was actually one of the last departures available. So it was in the middle to end of September of 2017, because again, it's a very short season. Absolutely fantastic park. There's over 1 million acres of land, and the majority of it being in the beautiful state of Montana. Now, our main property we use, if you look at this map right here, everyone, our main property is down in the bottom right-hand corner, and that is Glacier Park Lodge. And I have some pictures I'm going to show you. So I almost don't want to steal my own thunder, so to speak, because I feel like the pictures will do justice. They're actually some of my own pictures I purposely added into today's training webinar to show you just the amazing location of the lodge itself in comparison to the train station. Now, here's what Glacier Park Lodge looks like from the outside. Absolutely fantastic. Again, only open from June through September. Now, what you'll also find for your clients is many of the staff, they're seasonal, right? So they literally come from all over the world, and they work here at Glacier National Park, at Glacier Park Lodge, many of the different lodges, and then they go back home wherever they're from and go into another job until they can come back. Another property that we use as well as Mini Glacier. Our main property is Glacier Park Lodge, but we do have Mini Glacier Hotel as well as an option. Now, what is one of our most popular packages we have? It's not only Glacier, everyone, it's also Grand Canyon and Yosemite. So for those of you that have clients that have expressed interest specifically in Glacier, but maybe they've mentioned Grand Canyon or Yosemite, or they've mentioned visiting other national parks, here's a great package that's round trip from Chicago. Now, again, just like I talked about earlier, where you can customize any trip, any of these trips can be round trip from your own local Amtrak station. However, if you have clients that love this package as is, well, all you need to do is they can either start in Chicago for those of you that are located in the Midwest, or all you need to do is just book flights for them in and out of O'Hare or Midway, and then from there they go on this journey. Now, I'm just going to highlight this map for a minute because this will kind of serve as an example for the different trips that I'm highlighting here today. Anytime you see the red triangle with the number 1, that just lets you know, folks, that's an overnight on board the train. Now, pricing that you see here in today's training webinar, pricing that is on our website, pricing that is in our brochure, pricing is always based in coach seating, which is the main seating, with the option to upgrade to a roomette or a bedroom. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay, the number 1 or 2 or 3 that you see in the black circle, that just tells you how many nights that your clients are overnighting and staying in each of the cities, or in this case, Glacier National Park, okay, or the Grand Canyon. All right, so you get a chance to see that. Now, once we leave Chicago, first point of entry actually is into Flagstaff, where then we have a shuttle transfer over to Williams. But when we get to Williams, everyone, what happens is your clients are then treated on the Grand Canyon Railway. Now, I'm going to recommend, always suggesting for your clients to upgrade to first class on board the Grand Canyon Railway. It's just the seats are a little bit larger. They have food and drinks available as well. It's a nice experience. It's only about a 2-hour train ride from Williams up into the Grand Canyon. We are the largest partner in the United States of the Grand Canyon Railway. That is our main form of transportation for all of our travel agents clients that goes into the Grand Canyon. And obviously, once your clients get into the Grand Canyon, absolutely amazing. Now, unlike Glacier National Park, Grand Canyon does operate year-round. Known as one of the 7 wonders of the world, absolutely fantastic. We will include round-trip service on the Grand Canyon Railway, in and out of the Grand Canyon. And your clients will also be treated for a motor coach rim tour with a local tour guide. From there, they head up north, up into California, San Francisco, before having a day trip to Yosemite. Now, when we go to Yosemite, that's not on board the train. That's a motor coach bus from San Francisco, because there is no train that goes into Yosemite. But we do spend a couple nights in San Francisco, where your clients will be treated for a hop-on, hop-off sightseeing tour. Then we continue north up to Seattle, where you get a chance to observe the Space Needle. And then from Seattle, it's an overnight train, again, on the train known as the Empire Builder, where then they arrive into Glacier National Park. Now, when they're in Glacier National Park, they'll have an opportunity. It is seasonal, so typically in the summertime, in July or August, we'll also have the Medicine Valley Boat Cruise. But then we'll also include from June through September the Big Sky Circle Tour of Glacier National Park. This trip itself, everyone, 14 days, 13 nights, starting as low as $36.99. Now that price is base, all prices that you see here, website, brochure, all based on double occupancy per person, and again, based in coach seating. So really, when you look at pricing, everyone, the only items really not included, okay, would be how they get to and from the starting point. So in this case, it's round trip from Chicago, right? So how do they get to and from Chicago? If they're local, well, they don't have to fly in or start from another train station. If they're not local, then of course you can start them right from their own hometown Amtrak station or book a flight for them round trip. Also, if they want to upgrade. Now, again, as I talked about earlier, folks, and I think many of you would agree, even for yourselves, I know for me personally speaking, if I'm traveling overnight on a train or any long distance route, I want to be in a sleep-in accommodation, not only for my own private accommodations, but also because all meals are included as well. All right. But this is a fantastic package, one of the best. Now, that's kind of our grand, literally our grand national parks, right? Where not only your clients are getting Glacier, but they're getting Yosemite and the Grand Canyon. But as I move through the most popular packages for Glacier, they start to become more focused specifically, okay? Here's one other one where we can include really the best of two national parks, one over the border in Canada, okay? And then one here in the United States, as well as two amazing countries, two amazing train, okay? So this is on the Empire Builder and Via Rail, known as the Canadian. And as you can see, it's an overnight from Chicago out to Glacier. By the way, the train, just some fun trivia for all of you, train, it leaves around 2:50 p.m. from Chicago. It's a once a day train. So the Empire Builder typically leaves once a day around 2:50 p.m. from Chicago and arrives around 6 p.m. the following evening, the next day, into Glacier National Park, just to kind of give you an idea, okay? As you can see, it's also an overnight from Glacier to Seattle, but your clients get a chance to cross the border. Yes, they will need their passport, where they spend 2 nights in Vancouver, an overnight to Jasper, Banff, and then into Calgary. Now, here's something I want to share with all of you, okay? And I'm sure many of you are familiar with us. And this may sound funny to many of you, but I say it every time I do a training, whether it's in person, whether it's a training webinar, whether I'm speaking to any of my great travel agents and travel advisors and partners like yourself. If or when you could sell Rocky Mountaineer, sell Rocky Mountaineer. They are absolutely fantastic, one of the best train lines in the world, okay, let alone in Canada. Here's the reality. Rocky Mountaineer, as we all know, is a 5-star train experience, okay, at a 5-star price. So I guess what I'm saying to all of you right here, right now, here is your 4-star option at a 3.5-star price. So I want all of you to please keep this package or any of our Canadian Rocky packages we have with Via Rail, which again, you can book through our Amtrak Vacations brand. If it's a combination of US and Canada, or if it's just Canada, you can book through our sister brand, Rail Bookers. But if it's a combination like this one, keep us in your back pocket as a less expensive option. I mentioned I came from the cruise industry. As you all know, I'm sure better than myself, you have your 5-star, you have even your 6-star cruise lines, you have your 4-star, you have your 3-star. Here is your 4-star option at a 3.5-star price. And by the way, I will mention, we stay at the Jasper Park Lodge. We stay at the Banff Springs Hotel. They travel on the Canadian, where they overnight on board the train. Whereas many of you know, when you travel on Rocky, it's just during the day. So when you're also comparing, many times we're actually staying in experiencing many of the same components that would be on a Rocky Mountaineer, but again, at a much more affordable price. And most importantly, it includes Glacier National Park. Now, as you know, Canadian Rockies is similar as far as seasonal. Canadian Rockies has a little bit longer season, typically May to October, whereas Glacier, again, is going to be closer in June through September. But absolutely amazing, and we'll have time to experience that. As I mentioned, it does cross the border into Vancouver, home of former Olympics, and just a fantastic city. Absolutely amazing. Well, your clients will spend 2 nights. Then it's over into Jasper, okay, the Icefields Parkway. They get to choose the Jasper Park Lodge if that is within their budget. They get to go to Banff. They get to choose the Banff Springs Hotel again if that's within their budget. These are 5-star properties, as many of you know. So absolutely amazing. 11 days, 10 nights. Folks, look at that price, the top right-hand corner. All right. There it is, everyone. Your 4-star option at a 3.5-star price. And to me, you get the best of both. You have US and Canada, you have Amtrak vacations, you have Via Rail, and you have the beautiful Glacier National Park and the Canadian Rockies. Now, for you that are joining myself here today that have clients who want just Glacier National Park, here it is. And this, folks, is the exact trip that I went on in September of last year. So September 2017, rather. This is fantastic. 2 nights in Chicago, 3 nights in Glacier, and 2 nights in Seattle. And again, any trip can be customized. So if you only want 1 night in Chicago or your clients want 4 nights in Glacier, the sooner you book with us, the better it is, especially for Glacier if they want to add nights, okay? Seattle, same thing here. Also, again, keep in mind your clients can choose between 3, 4, up to 5-star hotels. By the way, did I mention deep dish pizza? So, folks, here's where I now get into some of my pictures. I hope you like them. I think the pictures came out pretty nice, okay? By the way, I think I devoured half of one of those pizzas. It was absolutely fantastic. So, again, when you're speaking to your clients, these are some of the iconic things they have to experience. The Empire Builder. By the way, did I mention the staff too on board Amtrak? Absolutely amazing. Okay. I have anytime your clients are in a roomette or a bedroom or a handicap accessible room, they have their own private attendant. Typically, there's one attendant for every sleeping car, and every sleeping car has anywhere from 15 to 20 roomettes in 7 to 10 bedrooms and 1 to 2 handicap accessible rooms. Okay, so they're there to help answer any questions your clients may have, and really help with turn down service as well as take any meal requests and reservations that they would like. I mentioned the train station, location, location, location. So that's myself with some of our staff from September 2017. And literally what you can't see, but kind of farther in the distance, just a little bit behind, that's actually the grounds of Glacier Park Lodge, which is on the right-hand side. This is a picture I took of the lobby. Look at how high the ceiling is. I mean, it's just a massive lodge itself. Some of you may have been there yourself. It's absolutely fantastic. And in fact, some of you may be aware of this, but Fort Wilderness, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with down in Disney, this was more of this lodge was the inspiration behind Fort Wilderness in Disney. Okay, so you can kind of see the similarity, kind of that Wild West type of iconic rustic feel, but it's really just an elegant, amazing lodge itself, and huge, I might add. Now, I mentioned earlier the Big Sky Circle Tour. Folks, this was a lot of fun, I got to tell you. Now, all of our trips, I just want to be clear with everyone so you're on the same page. All of our trips, they're all independent, they're all FIT, but on certain days, we will have a local tour guide or a local ranger that will join us for a portion of the day or be with us through the day. So our driver of our Big Sky Circle Tour, which is the bus that you see on the left-hand side, he actually was driving this bus. This bus is known as a jammer. Better yet, I should say the drivers are known as jammers. And the story behind it is years ago when they would shift the gears, it would get jammed. So these became known as jammers, okay? The bus is the guide. So our driver, he also was our tour guide, and it was a full day tour. It actually picked us up right in front of Glacier Park Lodge, okay? Picked us up in the morning, dropped us off at the end of the day. What you see on the right-hand side is myself with a local ranger inside of Glacier National Park. And folks, we make stops along the way, picture stops. Your clients can get out just like I did to get out, get some fresh air, take some pictures, take a little video. As we're traveling from site to site within Glacier National Park, our tour guide is giving us a commentary. And again, that's just for the day, but it is a real treat on that particular day. By the way, speaking of treats, here's my next question, all right? We're in the state of Montana. This is a dessert that I had. Doesn't that look good? Why did I even show this, everyone? Because I literally only had a coffee this morning. So I think I might need to get a little bite to eat after. Type in the answer. Let's have some fun, everyone. Right-hand side. Who wants to tell me? What's the name of this pie right here? Right-hand side. Oh, wow. A lot of you got it. Oh, that's good. Well, actually, a couple of them are close. Couple are close. Now, it's a pie. I should say it's a pie only, as far as I'm aware, it's only available in Montana, the state of Montana. I see blueberry, but actually it's not blueberry, but it's literally so close. It begins with an H and has the word berry in it. I don't know if that. Hey, okay, well, I see a few of you get it. Okay, yes, huckleberry pie. And the way I describe, so the answer is huckleberry pie. It's just iconic in Montana. This right here, the best way I could describe it is it's basically like a blueberry, and it's in Ohio. Idaho. Thank you, Kim. It is like a blueberry, but for me personally anyway. It was a little bit tart, just a little bit tart, but it was absolutely delicious and very popular up in the Montana Idaho region. So, and then before you know it, everyone, this trip ended in Seattle. All right, and obviously Public Market Center, that's home where they throw the fish above the tourist heads, which they did for me. It's also home of the first Starbucks back in 1971, right here on the top left-hand corner of the Public Market Center. And it's amazing when you see the Starbucks. I'm sure many of you have been there yourselves, but if you haven't or your clients haven't, you see this just a little coffee shop. Think of today, everyone, at least for me, and I'm sure many of you, that's one of my favorite things I love doing. When I travel, I love always going to the local little coffee shops. I don't know, it's fun. I get a coffee, relax, and just do a little work if I have time. In Starbucks right here in the Public Market Center looks no different, except yet today it's a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Pretty amazing. And then that's us with a couple of my fellow colleagues at the Seattle Space Needle. Just a fantastic trip. Look at the price, everyone. All right. I can confidently say to each and every one of you joining us today, you have clients looking to go to Glacier National Park or really any national parks. Folks, when we talk about why we've been so lucky, and for those of you that are part of any consortiums, AAA, CAA, any of the great organizations within the US or Canada or worldwide that we're already preferred with, this is one of those reasons why, again, we can get space in the lodges and we pay commission, all right, where the lodges don't. And by the way, again, you also make commission when you book any packages with us on Amtrak, including the cost of the rail ticket within a package, all right? So that's a great highlight. The last package I'll highlight before we move into the seating and sleeping accommodations, and we do have some questions, so I want to make sure we have time, and I'll try to go through these last a little bit quicker because I appreciate your time. We have a nice getaway, all right? So again, just remember, pricing you see here, not only on this trip, but every trip here, website, brochure, always based in coach seating, but I highly encourage all of you, please, to suggest upgrading to a roomette or a bedroom. You also have the option, again, as I mentioned, to upgrade to a 3, 4, 5-star, 5-diamond hotel. Okay, again, we got lots of great getaway packages to Glacier. So again, depending on how many days or nights your clients are looking to go, we have you covered. Packing for the train. I don't know if any of you knew this, but did you know your clients are allowed up to 2 pieces of luggage and 2 carry-on bags, folks, for free? 2 carry-on bags, 2 pieces of luggage per person for free. Last time I checked, most airlines, there is a charge unless you're like me and you're Mosaic with JetBlue, which is nice. Onboard accommodations. Let's take a look, everyone. Coach accommodations. Now, I want everyone to rest assured and be very excited and comfortable about, even when your clients are traveling during the day on coach seating, look at the leg room. The seats recline. They have access to the dining car. They can bring snacks and soda or drinks on board. Any water if they'd like. It's really a very relaxing way to travel. Plenty of space above the overhead for any carry-ons that they have. And what I like, again, as I mentioned, your clients have the freedom to get around and move around. But let's talk about sleeper roomette. This is the first sleeping category. And before I do, here's another fun question. All right, everyone, let's have some fun. Bottom right-hand corner, okay? If you want to type in, who here wants to tell me what is the difference between a roomette and a bedroom? I'm going to get to the bedroom in a minute, but I just want to see who here could tell me what is the difference between a roomette and a bedroom. Okay, I'm seeing lots of answers coming in. Oh, wow. I take it many of you have either booked with us Amtrak vacations, you've been on previous trading webinars, you've spoken to myself or any of my vacation consultants or business development managers, but you all are getting it absolutely correct, and I am so pumped. Thank you. It's literally as simple as this, everybody. Roomettes have what we call a private yet shared bathroom and shower. What does that mean? Exactly what you said, everyone. The toilet and shower is not inside of the roomette. But one thing I want to mention is roomettes are our most popular and they are our most affordable category of sleep and accommodation. So never be discouraged booking your clients in a roomette. In fact, most of the time I've traveled, I have been in a roomette myself. Very, very happy. And why is it easy? Because right down the hall, just like your clients would have at his or her own homes, there's bathrooms and showers available. Typically 3 bathrooms, so 3 toilets and sinks, and then 2 to 3 showers available. Okay, but you know your clients the best. Obviously, roomette is a great option. Again, most affordable, most popular. It includes 2 comfy seats, 2 beds, outlets, fold-down table. The seats turn into a bed in the evening. Plus, again, whether your clients are in a roomette or a bedroom, all their meals are included. Now, if your clients want his or her own private toilet and shower inside of the room, we have you covered. That's a bedroom. And I can tell you, I've traveled mostly on roomettes. I will be traveling in a bedroom when I travel on the auto train. So I've traveled on both. They're both fantastic. Bedrooms are a little bit larger. Roomettes typically fit two people inside of a room, and it is bunk bed style, same as bedroom, but bedroom's a little bit larger and typically fits 2 adults and 1 small child. All right, so you can kind of get an idea. And it also includes all the amenities. Obviously, the difference, it does have its own in-room toilet, sofa, and armchair, and all meals as well. And speaking of meals, everyone, your clients can order off the menu, which is fantastic, okay? If they have any special dietary requests, just let any of our vacation consultants here know. Also, check us out online if you haven't already. You could search by destinations. We have our weekly blogs that have previous recorded training webinars. If you have clients that are asking you, what are the meals and dining like, passport if they're going to Canada, the baggage guidelines, this is the area to find it. When it comes to booking, most of our travel partners, most of our travel agents and travel advisors, they just pick up the phone, everyone, or they visit our website to get a little more information. The other way they do it also, which is becoming more popular, is they also email their favorite vacation consultant. So if you've already been working with us, or when you start working with us and booking trips with us, if you build a nice relationship with our vacation consultant, you are more than welcome to email them anytime you would like, okay? All right, travel agent reduced rate. And I did see this question come in a little bit earlier. 15% off for you folks. All right. So any trip you want to go on with us, whether it's 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 weeks, take 15% off the total cost. And if you bring a guest, he or she will get 10% off. Also, another everyday discount is children. If your clients are bringing their children or grandchildren, if they're between the ages of 2 and 12, they get 50% off the cost of the rail portion of the trip. So whatever the cost of the ticket is, they could take 50% off. If you have clients 65 or older, they can qualify for a 10% discount on the rail portion. Military, all right, any military, 10% off as well, okay, again, on the rail portion. And this is every day. So any day, every day, if you have clients that qualify for any of these discounts. Now, we are running some early booking discounts as well, and I want to mention this. So on 2019 Select Independent Rail Journeys, as long as you book with us anytime before the end of March of this year to travel anytime this year into 2020, which I can't even believe I'm saying 2020. Doesn't it sound crazy, everyone? 2020 already. They can take $200 off per couple. Okay, as long as it's one of our select independent rail journeys, you can see which itineraries qualify by visiting our website, amtrakvacations.com. Also, we're doing some specials on our ultimate getaways. These are some of our 4-day, 3-night getaways where we're offering $50 off per couple. So again, in closing, everybody, and I do see we have a lot of questions, and I do want to answer these. So I hope you could join me for a few more minutes. I know we went a little bit longer than planned, but I'll tell you, this is good stuff. I hope all of you learned a thing or two. Again, remember, we pay commission, folks, on Amtrak and Via Rail packages. All right, fully commissionable, and the cost of the ticket within our packages is exactly the same cost of the ticket with Amtrak and Via Rail. Okay, stress-free FITs. FIT, by the way, I should have mentioned this, and I apologize, stands for flexible independent travel. Flexible independent travel. So unlike, say, a guided motor coach bus tour where it's a little more structured, this is more flexible. This is more independent. We'll have attractions such as hop on, hop off tour, a 24-hour or 48-hour hop on, hop off tour where your clients can kind of come and go as they please. That's what we operate. People love it. I love it. I'm sure many of you do as well on your own vacations. Rail connections into the national parks, folks. All right. Any of the national parks, certainly the major ones. We can get space in the lodges and we pay commission, all right? Pre and post cruise packages. Make that one extra call or send that one extra email because you can make a lot more commission and we can customize any package, whether it's Seattle, Vancouver, New Orleans, San Diego, San Francisco, New York City, New Orleans, wherever, Charleston, right? I'm trying to think of where all the ports are. There's plenty of them, right? Make that one extra call. We'll help you, and we can certainly customize any trip as well. So on behalf of myself and Amtrak Vacations, I see we have a lot of questions, okay? So I appreciate your time. I hope you could stick around as I answer through these questions. I'm only going to take another 5 to 10 minutes at max, but I want to go through these because you are all fantastic. And by the way, thank you all so much for your participation. Absolutely can't thank you all enough. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of these now. Some of these I may have already answered, so I'll just read them quick. From Kim, are there travel agent rates or fam trips? Kim, definitely travel agent rates, like I mentioned. We are looking at possible fam trips in the next year or two, so trying to work with Amtrak on that. So if we do or when we do, you all will be first to know. Do you have a group program? I will tell you, we book groups all the time. We are not able to hold space, so we book it live. So my advice for any of you that might have any groups, whether it's 6 people, 10, 12, however big or small the group is, once you have an idea who wants to go, you get their full names, deposits, and you give us a call. We book them live. Now, the only thing to keep in mind is because we're not holding group space, pricing may change from the first person to the last person, depending on how many people you have in your group. But I will tell you, we have tons of agents that book with us purely because, again, we'll pay commission and we'll help you put together that perfect package for your clients. Okay. Great questions, everyone. All right, we're going through. Let's see. Okay, are meals included even in coach? Great question. Actually, two-part question. Can you tell me a little bit about the Starlight Coast trip? Yes. So meals, they are available for any of your clients in coach seating, but they're not included at no extra charge. Okay, they are at an extra charge, but they are available for any clients in coach seating. They're only included at no extra charge when your clients are in a roomette, a bedroom, or any handicap accessible room, okay? Starlight Coast Trip, fantastic. One of the most scenic and iconic train routes in the United States. For those of you that have heard of it, it goes from Los Angeles up to Seattle or vice versa. Seattle down to Portland, Oregon, San Francisco down into Los Angeles. Absolutely awesome. All right. Let's see. Going through. Almost done, everyone. Appreciate your time, and thank you all again so much. Okay, meals are included, but are they served to them or do they go to a private car? So Cheryl, great question. Yeah, so they'll have dining times to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which is nice. Now, any of your clients that are in roomettes or bedrooms, they get first choice as to what time they want to dine and have dinner. If any of your clients are handicap accessible and they're not able to travel to and from the dining cart, meals will be served to them in their room. But as far as any other folks in coach, roomette, or bedroom, they will have times that are designated to go and have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Okay. Dory, do you have an agent private Facebook page we can join? You know, Dory, that's a great question. Yes. So Amtrak Vacations, yes. So you can absolutely log in. I also, too, folks, I also am on Facebook myself. I'm on Instagram. And by the way, what you see is what you get. It's my personal and professional page. There's no separate page for Jim at Amtrak Vacations. It's Jim Marini. What you see is what you get. I like to have fun. As long as you don't mind seeing a picture here and there of some of the kids and my wife and friends and family. I also put a lot of fun stuff in on some of the great trips we have and travel and some of the conferences I'm fortunate enough to attend. So definitely reach out to me. Don't even think twice. Whether it's Instagram, Facebook, I'm also on LinkedIn as well. So would be more than happy to connect with all of you, and feel free to friend request me. You took the time to join me. I would be more than happy to to connect with you, and also keep in contact. You know, it's funny. It's also, I found some of my travel advisors and agents. It's also been a great opportunity as they've kept in touch, even if they have to, message me. It's a nice tool as well. And don't ever think twice. I'm here and we'll help you any way I can. All right, let's see. Almost done, everyone. Lynette, how much are deposits? Great question, Lynette. They'll range anywhere from 100 to 250 or more, depending on the size of the trip. Okay, just so everyone knows. Let's see. If I understand correctly, there is not an agent website for this. We just call and work with you to book for our clients, right? Exactly. So any bookings that you make, folks, obviously you wouldn't call myself personally, but you just call that 1-800 number. Just so everyone knows, we have almost 40 vacation consultants, over almost 40. It's a big staff. They're fantastic, everyone. And we are here. By the way, we're open. Let me mention this too. We're open Monday through Friday, okay, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, otherwise 7 p.m. Pacific Standard, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hope that helps. Let's see. What is the average price for meals in coach? Great question. So meals on an average, they could be anywhere from, I'd say, $10 to $15 for breakfast, for lunch, $15 to $20. And this is, by the way, this is per person. And for dinner, anywhere from $25 up to $35 on an average, just to kind of keep it on an average for everyone. Okay, so anyway, I think we were able to get to the questions. And folks, we went just a touch over 1 hour. I can't thank you all enough for joining me. And by the way, almost all of you stuck with me the whole time, and that means a lot. So I hope you found this enjoyable. I hope you found it fun and informative. For those of you that have worked with us, thank you so much. If you haven't, thank you for considering to work with us. We'd love to help you and your clients any way we can. So on behalf of myself and Amtrak Vacations, folks, I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thank you for your past, your present, and your future support. We look forward to having you, your friends, family, and clients on board soon with Amtrak Vacations. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.